Cash Ali, Dennis. He's gone 6-0 here. He won IBO European. Has he been stripped?
Yes, he has now.
Right. And is he with you now?
He's still with us. He's had an injury, as far as I know. I'm waiting to hear back from him. His injuries, I'm still waiting. It's well overdue. I'd like to know where we are because we invested a lot of money in him. Steve Crumpaz, our partner, I've manoeuvred him. I got him rated at number 11 with the IBF. Then I needed a fight for him just to keep him active, and I didn't hear from him. And then he's gone. So I got him at number 11 with the IBF in the world, lobbying for him back in April or May, whatever it was, this year. And then when he weren't active, and that's why I needed another fight for him scheduled, and then they took him straight out of the ratings again. So I'd got him, even though he was going to get stripped to the European, I'd got him on the world scene.
Yeah.
That's the job I've done with him.
Yeah. Would you say Cash has overachieved to get an IBF number 11 ranking, Dennis?
At the moment, of course he is. The reason why I got that is because of me.
Yeah, I understand that. I saw the thing Peter Fury did a couple of weeks ago, and he said, look, a lot of these guys in top 15, they're only there because promoters have got them there.
There's always big fights out there. Look, I'm not going to mention any names, but we see losses, and I say, look, there's plenty of tomato cans in the heavyweight division. You know, they shouldn't be where they are. You know, I rank a lot of these in the top 10 as useless. They're only there because the promoters has got them there. Really, did he belong there? No. They should be sweeping up the gym in my eyes.
We all seen what he said, and I agree with him, but he needs more people to come and speak out. Do you think that that's wrong, that you're getting Cash Ali a number 11 ranking when he shouldn't even be near anywhere top 25?
No, because they've took my word on as regards the what fight I was putting together.
Yeah.
Right. So it would have enabled. Now, if he comes through this certain fight, we could have got him world ranked. It would have been justifiable in that. But because the fight didn't come off and he were inactive, he got took out straight away.
Yeah.
So there's a story behind. You know, not you can't just put. I can't just get you put in there.
Yeah.
Who am I?
Josh Whale were ranked in rankings, wasn't he? IBF.
Well, I got him ranked.
Liam.
I got them ranked. Just like they trusted my word because I've been. If I say a fighter can fight and deserve, even though now. If I hadn't done business with him for the last, say, 30 years, who am I? Now, because of my track record, if I say that kid can fight 99% of the time or 90% of the time, I've been justified in asking for a rating for a kid to give an opportunity or an eliminator, being involved with an eliminator, because I've proved some kids are better than the records.
Yeah. What about Max against Cash Ali?
Would he take it, Max?
Would Max take it? If he got fit, he'd take it, I think, yeah.
Well, he's heavyweight, isn't he? So there's no weight limit for heavyweight.
I'm on about getting fit. You know, there's like being an heavyweight boxer with a licence and there's match fit and there's...
He's your man, isn't he? Max, he's your man. He's not my man. He were because we were having a little bit... He didn't know if it were going to be a bit tetchy when that phone call other week. And he were... I could see a bit of... They were a bit defensive, going to be defensive for you. And I thought me and him might have got it on.
Max is all right. He's just not taking it serious. I want him to take it a bit more serious.
He comes over as a sound kid. I think I'd get on well with him.
He's a, what's the word? Lovable lummox or big oaf. He's one of them. He'll not do you any harm, Max. He's all right.
I think he sounds a nice kid. And him and Julian, who we have on your channel.
He's done well for Max.
I
met Julian, haven't you?
Of course I have, yeah. I like Julian. I think he's one of the good guys of this game.
He's got a lot of integrity.
A lot of integrity.
A lot of people are backing him to be a head honcho at the board. There's people been going on about it for months. He could do it as well, you know.
Oh, he could.
Easily.
If he were in Cardiff, he'd probably blind some of them much.
He'd get rid of the lot. They'll all go. He's structured from top to bottom.
But as regards any position in boxing, I think Julian's got the credentials to do a great job. Whether it's a television, head of sport,
very good.
The boxing board of control. I think
trainer.
He's got a bit of everything. I like him, and that's from afar.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I don't walk around like Stevie Wonder with my eyes shut, do I? So I know that Julian's got plenty about him. So
is there too many advisors in boxing, Dennis? Do you think at the moment, non-licensed holders getting involved in the sport?
Too many, and that's what kills it. That's why you get all these kids in the ear, and that's what that's one of the reasons probably why mine and Clinton's relationship has soured. And it shouldn't be. We should be. Our story is amazing. Our story is fantastic. But people, non-boxing people who think they know, never ever chanced anything to get anybody there, never ever achieved a fraction of what I've done in boxing, want to advise somebody, want to say this, they did that to you. And like it sours you, but I know, one of my dad's sayings, man, know thyself. I know what I've done. I know what I've done for Clinton, and I know I looked after him. I know how that really, he run about money. He owes me. I didn't take the percentages. Never got my proper return on my investment. Got him more money than he would have ever got. He's a millionaire, and if he says he's into millionaire, he's a liar. He's got 2 houses, what's probably worth more than $1 million. I know he got a lot of lump in the bank, which I got him. I earned him money through. I bought him a Rolex, brought him a private. He never mentioned that private registration I got, has he?
I've seen his private.
N1 WBC. I bought him that. Bought him a Rolex. Paid for his health care. Who else paid for his health care? Any of his back slappers? Me. Ask Michelle. I paid for all that because I thought the world about him, and I still do. But he's been misguided, and some of the stuff he's put out there has hurt me, and it's not true. And saying I forced him to take the Tarver fight, it's not true. It fell out. It was falling out with Pogson, and that was souring. He didn't tell me to what degree, and then I managed to manoeuvre him in again for the Tavares Cloud fight. So the job I've done with Clinton is absolutely phenomenal. The best job I'll ever do. The biggest night in boxing I've ever had. We'd lost our dear pal, Neil. But when he beat Rico Hoy against the odds, managed to get it on BBC. There again, BBC didn't want to take Clinton. I got Clinton on the BBC on the back of David A. Yeah. I got Clinton on Sky Television on the back of Ricky Hatton. Got him on Satanta on the back of Ricky Hatton. They wouldn't offer me a deal on Clinton on his own. So that's the job, and so I got him paid as Jason Delisle. I forgot how much he got, but it was well over probably 100 grand that he got off that. He'd already knocked him out once. And I got him on there.
Would you go for a pint with Clinton, Dennis, if he rung you up?
Life's too short, isn't it? I mean,
why don't you ring him up and go for a pint?
I don't want to ring him up. You know, I mean, there's certain things. Why don't you ring me? Why don't you ring me? It's me what, you know, you say kids do. He does fine. Of course they do, and I respect any kid who gets a ring. But you could be taking the same risk and fighting for an area title. And some of these area titles are like life or death, some of them, aren't they? So Clinton could have been a life or death merchant for an area, an English or a British. They weren't an English at the time, but like, and a lot of people
he won everything else though, didn't he?
Won everything. The area title, when he won area title, that were a big thing for me.
Do you think Terry Chapanama touched on his pod last night regarding
Terry Topman?
Terry Topman, how are you doing, Terry? Terry were mentioning, and I took some off it, so I'm nicking this a little bit, and I never looked at it like this. We all go on about the four kings, don't we? Duran, Leonard, Agler, Hearns in the 80s. From 80 to like 87, wasn't it? But nobody ever mentions them fights. Roy Jones, Montel Griffin, Clinton Woods, Glenn Johnson, Tony, Hopkins, all them lot in that.
Fantastic.
All that light heavyweight mix. Nobody ever seems to mention. They don't have like a 4 kings or 8 kings. Or everybody beat each other, didn't they? Tarver and
that should be. It's like, you know, you're about Duran and all that. That should have its own era of its own. I mean, they for me that era were the best.
Light heavyweight, yeah.
Don't know Duran and all.
Oh yeah.
But for light heavyweight, that was a phenomenal era. In any era.
Yeah, you put it up against the 50s era.
No, it should be mentioned. Yeah, you're right. It's a good point now.
I don't think he gets enough kudos. I mean, I remember Carl Froch saying to me, the one of the first gigs he ever got on BBC Radio, I think it was with Bunts, and it were at a Roy Jones. It might have been about 06ish or something. It were a Clinton fight against Johnson, and he says he just went at it up close for 12 rounds, and he says, and I thought, whew.
That's the fight I wanted. I were half chase, but obviously Clinton will come to end. Clinton versus Froch.
Yeah, that'd have had to be at a catchweight though, wouldn't it then?
Yeah, but Clinton were at one bit a super middle, so it grown into a light heavy. Yeah. It were never a massive light heavy. But he could have done it at a catchweight. But Froch were willing to fight Calzaghe at light heavy, weren't he?
Yeah,
because he went up to light heavy.
No, the deal were on the contract. It was a 45-page contract, and the options. Bricktop wanted options on Carl Froch if he fought Calzaghe, 3 other options. So Mickey Hennessy said, "Well, I'm not going to put all this money into him for years for him to fight Calzaghe, and then have to fight for you 3 more times if he beats Calzaghe." So then that fight never happened. Yeah,
but it's like any contract, Russ. And obviously, I've learned this over years. It stands on its own merit. So if you've invested a lot of money, like I did in a lot of that fighters, some I've never ever got back.
Yeah.
And it's arguable that how much I got back out of Clinton, but you can draw something into the contract that says like, right, if you're having options on him. Every time he fights, and a bonus if you win, you can put bonuses. Every time he fights for you, I get a lump. Every time he fights for you again, I get a lump back. Yeah. So you can put, as long as it's an open book, and you go right. I need a return on mine. That's his purse. But the promotional company, like we try and do, we Fight Zone and Fight Academy, say right, we would like if somebody fights on somebody, you've got to draw something in where you get a bit of a percentage back. Yeah, so that's a natural thing. They all do that. If you fight on somebody else or you lose a purse bid, you get a percentage up and above or whatever.
Yeah,
it's only business, and so you could have drawn something into that. So I don't get that.
Well, it didn't happen, did it? Roch didn't want options on him on Bricktop, so that's that.
Well. If he'd have wanted to fight Calzaghe at the time, that were the way to do it. And I were going to do a deal with. Well, I'd shook hands with Warren. I'd done the deal. It's a story on its own.
Tell me about the bet that you had with Frank Warren. You flipped a coin for 50 grand.
Right. So we remember when Clinton fought Johnson. I went into a purse bid with the Americans for Glenn Johnson. I thought, well, I'll beat them. I didn't know, unbeknown to me, Frank had been in touch with them. So he'd come from nowhere and won the purse bid.
Like he does.
So if I'd have known Frank were bidding for it, I didn't think. But obviously, as it unfolded, they thought Johnson beats Clinton, right?
Did, yeah.
And then Johnson's going to fight Calzaghe for the IBF. But apparently, if you ask Glenn Johnson, he'll tell you Calzaghe pulled out with him numerous
3 times, and they got $100,000 fine the 3rd time.
Yeah, so he pulled out with him, so he got no respect for Joe. Anyway, we got to gets that fight. He puts us in a broom cupboard, as you know.
Yes. Yeah.
Never allowed me. Only allowed us 3 passes for the corner or 4, wherever it was. So there's me, Poxon, and I thought just to wind him up, I'd take Ricky and put Ricky in the corner with us, Ricky Hatton. I think I got 1 more. So they didn't give us full allocation of our team. I weren't allowed any other tickets, not any more passes to come in. So they were just trying to control us and trying the best to make it as awkward as possible. That's when Poxon and Andy Ayling were going to have a pop. They were like, are you allowed to say like 2 birds?
Yeah, no, women not happen.
Women can fight, can't they?
Well, I heard Andy Ayling went up to Poxon and he said, I'm going to do you in later or something. And he went white as a sheet, didn't he, or something?
The other thing about him is that he was mourning apparently about me where Poxon when he left that something had happened. But while he was with me, if anybody ever asks him, he had a death threat while he was working with me.
Who did?
poxing.
Really?
He went greyer than these blinds. Goes down to West Bar police station. Went, Dennis, police want to see me. He'd had his car broken, so I bought him a Lexus to run around him, and he'd had his
A what, Lexus?
Lexus, yeah, stabbed, his seat stabbed, and a Mouser poster, hand poster stabbed through his seat. Anyway, he'd had a death threat, and he ended up. If anybody asks him, this is 100% true. So he likes to point the finger and blame people. While he was with me, he had a death threat and he had a panic button fitted in his house.
By police?
By the police. So what was he up to?
Bernie Smalls, wasn't he?
And I heard, and see, this is, if he'll tell the truth, but obviously his nose should be like Pinocchio's because he doesn't. So he used to make a copper in Millhouses Park, I'm told, for information.
He could have been like a double agent for South Yorkshire Police, Poxon, Dennis.
I mean, his family, I'm godfather to one of his kids, bless her, and his family are nice people. I always thought he were, and I thought Richard were the same. But obviously, he'd got a different agenda. And another one weren't as honourable. Bert loves to paint himself Snow White and fire the bullets and paint people bad guys. If Ricky'd tell the truth, he'll tell you the sort of discrepancies. This is what I'm told. I don't know for sure, but I'm told this.
What do you think, Dennis, to what the job Joe Gallagher's done with Tasha Jonas?
Great.
Fantastic. She's also Sky.
I think it's just like a
great pundit as well, isn't she?
She's a great pundit. We were close to doing the Anna ranking.
It's a good fight, that, isn't
it? And it's still there. The politics got involved. Ben Shalom trying to do business by text. Is about as much manners as.
It's about as exciting as a turd on a plate of fish and chips.
Let's be honest, he shouldn't be in that position. But I mean, I've got a lot of respect for Sky as regards what he put together in the machine. They backed him tremendously, and there's got to be reasonings behind why he's in the position what he's in. Because
there's something going on, we don't know about it, but we will soon.
I think so, because he's got apparently a lot of shite coming. He's getting sued. And I think the Sky are going to have to look at his position because he's getting sued by certain people for some of his comments and some of his actions which aren't, I want to be.
Well, he's tapping up fighters, isn't he, from what I mean?
Well, yeah, and it's tapped up a lot of fights, tapped mine up.
How come he's not front at board? Because you remember the incident we had in here where.
He's tapped Hannah up.
Yeah.
He's tapped Hannah up direct. I've got it in. I think so, like, he tapped ringing Kev Marie about Massey, ringing Sam Kinnock about Anna, then he's ringing Anna. I'm like, oh, that's the reason why the Jonas fighting happened, because I'm a man of principle, you know I am. Russell went, right, I'm not working with anybody who's dishonourable like that. How can I work? Now, they'd asked us if we wanted to do a Terry Harper fight. So, yeah, but like, so I sat down with them all. They'd have fought either. Anna had fought either one of them. Then Harry went off and he went behind my back again. I went, that's it. I'm not working with him. We're going for Harper fight. Ben Shalom knackered the Jonas fight up.
Yeah, I think it's a great fight. Tasha Jonas ranking, Dennis.
It was happening, Russ. There's one man who's knackered that up, and you can tell Tasha. It's Ben Shalom, and she bigs Ben Shalom up because he's really nice to your face. I've been in business a long time. Like I say again in this game, metal business, me engineering company, whatever. It won't last 2 minutes. He's no honour. He tries to do a business by sending you a text. You have a meet with him and say, and he writes something down. I've got a piece of paper where he's wrote it down in pencil. What about that for Dave Allen? What about that for Tasha? What about that for Jack Massey? All right, let me go back and talk to him about it. They don't want to do it. Then next thing he's texting, have we got a deal or not? I'm like, they don't. Ring me up, Ben. Doesn't ring you. Another week goes by. Have we done the deal? I've offered you a deal. I'm like, pardon, you need to learn some manners first, pal. first of all, pick the phone up.
Would you say that you're a bit old school to be dealing with somebody like him, though?
No, I'd say I'm proper and he isn't.
There's
the right way and a wrong way. He doesn't. He's a tapper-upper. He's a poacher, and he's no manners, and he's going about it the wrong way, and he's going to end up being an embarrassment to Sky Television. You mark my words.
Well, on Company House on the 22nd of May, you were liquidated as boxer director, it says.
If he'd have rung me up and I've texted him the odd time to say, let's sit down, draw a line, forget about this Tasha fight. She's fine up, but that fight will still be there. And maybe we can do that one next or whatever. That fight will be there. That's still and if Anna comes through like I hope and think she will, that's a bit bigger fight. But it could still happen. Win or lose. Now he might go, well, if she loses, it's not worth it. Well, Joshua's fighting Tyson Fury. He's just got beat twice by Usyk. So it's a good fight. But I think Anna does. I think she beats Terry. I think have too much will, too strong. I think Terry's a bit manufactured. She needs to start thinking for herself instead of being brainwashed. So she'll be looking in the corner because you've just got a boom in that corner. Every punch that's thrown and not necessarily delivered and landed, it's like a big noise. Oh yeah, as though it's landed. Trying to influence the judges and the referee. It's pathetic.
I seen it in the Jonas fight. I keep shouting, didn't it? But I think they were shouting over each other, him and Joe, weren't they?
Well, they might do, but he's trying to influence the referee and then asking for a bigger ring and then. But I don't know. I mean, just trying to influence things. Whereas at the end of the day, Terry, bless her, and she sounds a lovely lass. She seems a lovely lass, Terry.
Yeah.
And I like it. I think she's done a great job, and to a degree, I suppose Steffi would have. But I'm not so sure how 100% Steffi is, because when she were knocked out, stood up. How long did it take him to get to her?
I don't know. I think he was stunned, wasn't he? I think.
Well, I know.
Maybe he didn't see the punch.
I know when I've been stunned, when I stopped the fight for Clinton, I was like the first there to make sure he were all right and fine. So I look at things like that, and there's other fighters where I won't go into, and managers and trainers, and I go, I start to think, because I know
Ray Doyle the trainer for her, not Ray Doyle, not Steffi. I thought he trained her, and then she won an IBO, and then all of a sudden he was pushed out as the trainer, wasn't he? But I thought Ray Doyle trained her.
I don't know. I mean, it's I don't know. He's had a few kids. Probably his gym started filling up on the back of me letting Jim and McDonald go to their gym. Gavin was supposed to be signing with me, and I said no, I'll sign him with Steffi. He did the dirty there years ago. So Gavin rode on Jamie's back. Yeah. And he got a lot of fighters at the gym on the back of Jamie. Me allowing Jamie to go to that gym, whereas he were at my gym.
So you put him on map then, Steffi Ball? So, is that what you're saying?
Well, and then he influenced Jamie. He had a bit of influence, I'm told, to lead me. After he knows I'd got him up there. So what sort of a person is that? So obviously I don't have a right lot of respect for him, but he's got a gym full of kids. But I think he's had a leg up off a lot of what I've done.
Yeah.
Originally, anyway.
Yeah. Are you still promoting and managing Anthony Tomlinson, or were you promoting him?
No, we
parted.
We part company. Yeah.
Did you win a belt, you?
I put him in for that Intercontinental, didn't I?
IBO, he won a belt with you, didn't
he? No, I think he won that. No, he got beat.
Did he have a WBA belt though? He had a belt, didn't he? A Continental belt.
Yeah,
he had a belt.
Beat, but he was in a tough fight. He showed plenty of bottle, Anthony.
That was his hardest fight he's had.
It were. I mean, they wanted it. Him and the matchmaker at the time, Jason, and his trainer, and Roger trains him, doesn't he? But they wanted that fight, and I went okay. and it got passed by the IBO.
Didn't you want that fight for him?
Not necessarily, but I says ask him if they want it, and they went, yeah, we want that fight. So they wanted that fight. They wanted to fight a tough Mexican, and he didn't fight the right fight. Went out all guns blazing, run out of a bit of gas, and then got caught. But showed plenty of bottle.
Yeah.
The one thing they did show were plenty of bottle.